Hey Team Eqrrc, this is Coach West here with a Sunday video message for you. And we've got just a couple weeks away until we finally tackle the Huntington Beach 10 miler. It's on October 21st. So we're really getting down to some of our really high volume and high intensity type of workouts. And that was the case this past weekend. On Saturday we ran 9 miles, 4.5 up in Huntington and 4.5 back. And we talked a lot about the time under tension is one way to put it. It's really just the time on your legs, to get your legs used to that endurance of the musculature system, to be able to handle a long distance run. And that'll really benefit you come the 10-mile run. That strength and endurance of the muscular system I want to talk about a little bit more as our focus for this coming week's message. And I've had a couple of you guys ask me in particular, what should we be doing from a strength training standpoint? Now, I want to answer the question, but I also don't want you guys to think that this is something that you need to turn around and start implementing in a really specific way if your goal is really to run that 10-mile race hard. Being only a couple weeks away, we're probably not doing a lot of really heavy lifting on the legs, although some lifting on the legs won't really hurt a whole lot right now. So maybe this message and this emphasis should be coming with a look to the future. And my hope is that we can start implementing some of the strength training now and really hit it as we transition out of this program into our spring program, which will be geared towards the Huntington Beach Half Marathon in the beginning of February. So with that being said, this is what I think you should be looking to do when you're doing strength training. And I'm going to talk about this specifically with respect to the legs right now. Leg strength training should be done 1 to 2 times per week. One time can focus strictly on the legs, and one time can be more of a full body workout where you're getting a combination of squatting and rowing together, or squatting and overhead pressing, things of that type of nature. Well, let's talk about specifically what we would do on that single day where you're focusing just on the legs. First and foremost, you want to be able to make sure your intensity is appropriate, and that's really determined off the number of repetitions that you would be choosing. My suggestion would be aiming for somewhere between 10 and 15 repetitions. We don't really need to go to the 20s and 30s because that's just a long time and the weight won't be very heavy. And conversely, you don't need to do like 3 reps, 4 reps, 5 reps because it's more power and that's not really what we're training for. So again, I'd be choosing 10 to 15 repetitions per exercise, 2 to 3 sets per exercise. Now, as far as the exercises go, when you think about running, all of our motion is always forward and backward. We talk about it in class all the time, about hands not crossing by the belly button, about the hands going straight forward and backward, elbows by your side, and really concentrating on bending the knee, picking the foot up. Well, we want to keep that in mind when we're strength training, but the interesting thing is at the beginning we actually want to do the exact opposite. So when you think about the moves that you want to do from a strength training standpoint, you want to work on all of the stabilizing muscles that allow you to stay in that forward-backward line. But all those muscles are going to be worked by moving to the side. So some examples could be side step-ups, side lunges, crossover step-ups, crossover lunges. Those would really be where I'd focus a lot of your intensity early on as far as your strength training. Some other things that would be really, really helpful would be side band walks. And with those side band walks, it would be something as simple as getting a tube around your feet and just taking maybe 20-30 steps down to the right and 20-30 steps back to the left to strengthen the muscles of your hips, because those are a lot of your supportive muscles. Some other things that you can keep in would be squats, but you could always take your squat as kind of a traveling squat with a barbell on your back and just taking squatting down and taking a step to the side, performing another squat, stepping to the side. Again, things where you can emphasize a side-to-side nature, a crossover nature with your motions, right now, as we're far away from our races, would be a great way to emphasize the right type of supporting musculature. One thing I've done for you guys is I put together some of those exercises and put them on a website that we call PT on the Net, and I've attached that program to this email, so you can look at that email and it might give you some other ideas. So those are just some of the things. Your standard squats, lunges, split squats, step-ups, deadlifts, things like that, those would all be really, really good. I just want to make sure you're also doing some motion going side to side. So that's kind of where we're going to finish for this week's message, really focusing mostly on the lower body. We'll talk in subsequent messages about how we can really work on core musculature and how that benefits running, and then finally we'll tie it together with a little bit of upper body strength training. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me when you see me at the gym. I know this is kind of a new topic for us to be answering as part of the Sunday video message, so if it leaves any things that are still questioned by you, don't hesitate, I should say, to either email me or stop me when you see me in the gym. Well, as we look forward to this coming week, it is going to be really hot early in the week. So Monday is actually one of our pretty significant runs because what we have on our program is a timed 10K. Timed in the sense that I want you to feel like you're trying to race it a little bit. I want it to replicate the feeling of what you feel like you're going to do for the 10-mile race. The pace that you hold for the 10K will actually be a good judgment as far as what we might be able to hold for the 10-miler. Understanding those two speeds will be a little different, but not that much different. So really try and use tomorrow's run. I would suggest doing it indoors, but try and use it as a way to get your body prepped for what type of your paces you're going to use for your 10-mile run. We'll come back and meet again next weekend, and it should be a lot cooler on Saturday morning, which will be a huge plus. And we're going to do probably our hardest workout of the entire program. That's going to be 3 repetitions of 3 miles. So that'll be another 9-mile workout, but we'll break it down in 3-mile chunks. I know there's a lot of information for Sunday, so again, if you need anything from me or if you have any questions, just reach out. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Take care.